ever since I got my new job, I've been able to shift my focus away from being a full-time YouTuber and kind of take a back seat to all of it and admire just how ridiculous it's become. Being a full-time YouTuber is hard work. I know because I did it for about 3 years. And day in and day out, I would be writing, filming, editing, publishing, promoting, and then researching all over again to start the cycle over and over every single day. And sometimes it would work out and I'd get a banger, and sometimes it would go nowhere and I'd barely get any attention at all. But I do it for the passion of it. I did it because I honestly just wanted to be successful. I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to be one of the big YouTubers and get noticed. And that wasn't in the cards for me. And that's fine. I've come to realize that there are far more important things in life than getting noticed by an underground network of gamers to care about me. Which is funny because for the longest time that was like a priority for me. I'd see popular YouTubers get their videos shared on social media networks, and people say, hey, did you see the latest video from XYZ? Or did you see what the ABC said about this thing or the other thing? And I'd be like, yeah, I made that video like 2 weeks ago and nobody gave a damn. But yet now that this bigger channel's doing it, apparently it's important. I had that feeling often. It was a feeling of jealousy. It was a feeling of just utter remorse that I was doing something wrong. I wasn't in with the right clicks. I wasn't just fitting in with the group. And ultimately, it didn't work out for me the way I had hoped it would. But like I said, being able to take a step back from all of it, I'm able to look at full-time YouTubers from the outside in with a lot more clarity. And to be honest, it's getting a little bit over the top ridiculous with some of the videos that I've been seeing. And it's fine. I want to preface all this with people can make whatever the hell they want. Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, they made a video on this and that's why they're an awful person or something like. No, it's like, no. YouTube is you on video. You can do whatever you want. That's what makes it so special. The problem comes in when YouTubers full-time grow a gigantic audience and people just become drones to the content. They'll just show up no matter what the hell it is you're talking about. And from the outside looking in, it kind of feels like some YouTubers are putting their feet up and just kicking back. And that's fine. You're allowed to. But it's just unfortunate because I feel like it's a gigantic missed opportunity to capitalize on your audience that you've grown to get even more popular, to get even more success and obtain even more security in your life. But I'm seeing far too many YouTubers out there making videos on just generic topics, things that are so boring. And I get it. Like, it's a slow time of year for video games. Like, I can't even tell you a game that's been released in the past 2 months that has any notoriety whatsoever. These are the doldrums of winter in the video game industry. And there's very little to talk about when it comes to specific games. But I'd like to think this is a time where people can get more creative. And I'm not seeing it. What I'm seeing is from multiple channels. I don't want to just point fingers at people, but I'm seeing just generic videos like Switch eShop sale. Nintendo Direct may be announced. Nintendo Direct is announced. Let's talk about that Nintendo Direct after it happened. Another Switch eShop sale. And, let's review this generic game now. It doesn't feel like there's any work being put into it. It feels like an afterthought. And maybe that's just me, but I literally have zero interest in watching these things. And like I preface this with, that's fine. Nobody has to watch any of this. You can do whatever you want on YouTube. My point being, like, these channels are still growing at rapid rates when compared to other channels that are really taking the time and effort to make unique materials, tell insanely entertaining stories. But then it comes down to, what do people want to consume? And ultimately, if people are still clicking on these videos and they're getting the views on them, then I can't really blame them, because this is where their rent comes from. Being a full-time YouTuber, they need to make sure that they're able to get money from revenue every single month, that they need to keep pumping out videos. And that's kind of the greater point that I'm trying to make in this video. YouTube has become too much of a job for some people, where they have to continually output video after video after video, regardless of if it's their passion or not, regardless of if it's something they even care about or not. It's just, I need to put out another video or else the algorithm's going to forget me and they're going to stop promoting me when I'm in full circle, in cycle, going around and having everything being pumped for me. If I stop making the videos, then the algorithm just won't care about me anymore. And I'm not trying to blame these YouTubers, by the way. I'm saying they're a victim of circumstance in the position that they've chosen to be in. And I can say this knowing full well that it was also a position that I chose to try to be in for about 3 years. That didn't work out for me because I suck at YouTube, but at least I tried, and I saw some of the hurdles that I had to go through in order to continually get noticed day in and day out. And god damn, it was exhausting, to be honest. And I don't know if there's a way to fix it. I don't know if there's a magic formula we could just put together and say, okay, going forward, everyone's going to agree not to make generic crap videos. Because if 20 people don't do it, 20 other people will step in line and start doing it. It kind of reminds me of when I was driving for Uber and Lyft. Like, I was saying we weren't getting paid enough to be Uber and Lyft drivers, but it's all about supply and demand. And at the end of the day, if Uber tried to rally together and strike against corporations so that they make more money, that means there'd be far more riders on the road, meaning there'd be way more trips available. So if you were to strike, there'd be 20 drivers striking, there'd be 20 more jumping in their cars saying, I can go make money now because there's less drivers on the road. It's the same thing. When it comes to being a full-time YouTuber, it's all about supply and demand, and there is a surplus of supply of people wanting to make it big, of people wanting to be able to get to the point where they can just shoot a video, pump it out, and make money and do it all over again the next day. It's just depressing, though. I don't think these YouTubers ultimately enjoy doing that. Maybe they do. I don't want to speak for them. But I know personally, if I found myself in a situation where I was just making generic video after generic video, I'd need to reevaluate what I'm doing with my life. Now, this might be ironic because this video itself may come across as generic. But I haven't really heard anyone talk about this, so to me it's interesting. It's not just another video. I guess that's what I'm getting at here. Should YouTubers be full-time YouTubers? That's a whole nother question that maybe I'll try to tackle in an upcoming video. There's a little foreshadowing for you, but ultimately, at this point, I'd just like people to try a little bit harder if they have a larger audience. And if they don't, that's fine. But if that's going to be the case, I'd really like to see YouTube algorithm give a little bit more credit to the little guys out there that are working so incredibly hard on really well thought out, in-depth researched videos, crazy edits, so much work put into them that would definitely get a ton of subscribers and notoriety if the algorithm actually pumped them out. But because there's so many large YouTubers with big pull out there right now that keep pumping out generic content and filling the algorithm with it, The algorithm decides, okay, this person watched this big YouTuber's video, let's shove another one of their videos in their face instead of actually exposing the viewer to a different channel that worked their ass off on something that deserved far more credit. And yes, I know it's ironic coming from a guy talking in his car that there's better content out there. But that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you guys. Don't be afraid to research and find out great creators out there, because there are plenty of them. I'm going to leave the video right there because I could rant forever on this topic, but I'd be very interested to hear what you guys have to say about generic content on YouTube, and if it's something that we could do without, or if you feel like it's perfectly fine, you're able to watch it if you want and move on to something else if you don't want to watch it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.